was not expecting to review this until tomorrow, when it comes out on physical. But I was unaware it came out on digital on the 18th. So that's my bad. I missed the day one boat on that one. I apologize. I was working with the information that I was given. So because of this review is actually later than it's supposed to be. Sorry. So, if you saw my last review, you knew that I was not a big fan of Batman Ninja. I thought it was a poorly written, horribly dubbed, and all-around just terrible movie. So naturally, when I heard it was getting a sequel, I didn't even want to bother. But since this is Animation Station, and I review animation for a living at this point, I didn't have an excuse. Not to mention, I had to watch the first one, so yeah, I didn't really have much hope. But, surprisingly enough, this movie's not bad. It's definitely better than its predecessor, and it's not a terrible piece of garbage. But, it's still not good, and there's still plenty of problems to pick apart, so... Yeah, this is going to be one of my more confusing reviews, because it's average, honestly. At best, it's average. And with average movies, there's really not much to say. So, this will not be nearly as long as my review of the first Batman Ninja, but I can tell you right now, it will be a little more positive. There's still a lot of problems, but it's a decent movie. So, I'll be nice this time. What's up, what's happening, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, your source for anything and everything animation, including TV and movies. I'm your host, Jasmine Small. Welcome to the sequel of Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League. I didn't watch the trailer. I barely even knew this thing was coming out. So, I didn't really know what to expect. And not to mention, after watching the first Batman Ninja, my expectations were pretty much in the toilet. However, now that I've actually watched it, not only can I say this movie's actually competent, but decent overall. It's a decent movie. It's not bad, it's not good, it's okay. But considering the first movie was terrible, okay is more than satisfactory. So, yeah, let's dive in, shall we? A shorter written review this time, because there's not really much else to say. Here we go. Thankfully, this one came out on digital early, so I don't have to wait until tomorrow to review it. And I'll say that this one is a little better than the original, with an actual story this time. Like, the original, it was two movies smashed together, and you could clearly tell it was two movies smashed together. But with this one, it actually has one singular focused narrative. You know, an actual story worth caring about. Now, granted, it's not a very original story, as we've already done this evil Justice League thing a dozen times previously. Go watch my DC Live reviews if you want more context. We have done this a dozen times. But it's still better, nevertheless. I'll also say that the animation's a little better this time, with a more unique style, and slightly more budget. Like, you can tell they put a little bit more effort into this one, and it actually has a style to it, as its 3D animation actually has an overlay of 2D animation. Probably inspired by TMNT Mutant Mayhem and Spider-Verse, but honestly, I would take it when I can get it, and this one has an overlay of that 2D animation with the watercolor aesthetic of, like, these old Japanese paintings, which is pretty cool. And it does give this movie a very unique and distinct feel and aesthetic to it. Not to mention, it looks way less cheap and haphazard than it did in the original, so credit where it's due, it's better. The action is still pretty good. Once again, it delivers on the action. The original, the action was the only thing it delivered on. This one, it delivers, once again, on the action, but also has its own pros as well. The Yakuza League themselves are pretty cool, both design-wise and as characters. Yes, we've seen these evil Justice League variants before, but I quite like the spin that they put on them here. Not to mention, Wonder Woman gets to be the one that gets to still be a hero. Which is fine by me, because she's actually really good when she's paired with Batman, so I'm cool with that. Not to mention, the designs are really cool, and they lean very heavily into the anime aesthetic. So, yeah. Props there. I do like them. And the pacing is a lot better. Like, it's not like start out fast in the first 10 minutes and then slow to a crawl. This one, it's actually a consistent slow burn all the way through. Which is nice. It's always nice when we get a movie with consistent pacing. However, that's not saying much because while it is better, it's still not good. Sorry. The English dub is worse than last time. Unlike the last English dub, where it at least had a talented cast to try and make it into something worth remembering, this one has a bunch of really bad stand-ins. Everyone gets recasted, no one from the original Batman Ninja comes back to voice the characters, and most of them sound pretty bad. Especially Batman, who you can clearly tell is not voiced by Roger Craig Smith anymore. And his voice is so, like, grizzled and so deep that it makes Christian Bale's Batman look like a freaking masterpiece in comparison. Seriously, Batman's voice in this movie sucks. But I'll give it this. Diana has a good voice actress. And the evil version of Superman, yes, there's an evil Superman in this movie, because of course there is, actually has decent voice acting. So those two, decent. They're fine. The rest, bad. Bad, bad, bad. Story has even less substance. It's pretty much just an hour and 29 minutes of fighting. That's about it. It's just better paced. It's pretty much all it is. Runtime is still obnoxious. It's longer than the original by a few minutes. And it still feels too long. Writing is mediocre. It's not absolute dumpster fire trash like it was last time, but it's still not very good writing. Rewatchability is low, and the ending is a bit of a mess. It's a happy ending, but it's still a messy ending. Overall, this sequel is definitely an improvement over last time, but it's still stuck battling with a dull blade. Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League is a decent sequel that vastly fixes its predecessor's colossal issues, but unfortunately still finds itself weighed down by its own faults, that being the bad English dub, the obnoxious runtime, and the still startling lack of substance in the storytelling. But if you don't care about that and you just want a bunch of crazy action with Batman and anime, well, this movie's for you. It's worth watching, but it's definitely a one and done. But again, more than I can say for its predecessor. So, because of that, my final verdict for Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League is going to be a middling, but higher than I expected, 5.5 out of 10. It's okay. It's a decent movie, it's an average movie, and it is better than its predecessor. It's not good, but there is improvement. If we do get a third Batman Ninja, I'll check it out. But if it's back to the same horrible crap of its original predecessor, then I hope the third's the last. So, yeah, a kind of mixed review on this one, because it's a pretty mixed product, so. Yep, it's DC animation in a nutshell, just continuously struggling. Bummer. But that's going to be it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. And stay tuned, because we do still have more reviews on the way. So, yep, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on today's review and the movie I reviewed in the comments down below if you so desire. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.